Hello, welcome to Sound Bites. I am your host, Holly Whitfield, here from the Daily Memphian. I am with Sam Reeves Hill. She is the bar manager at Swamp Bar, and she's a visual artist and much more. Today, we're going to talk about all of those things, all of the above. But first, no, this is Sound Bites. It's the Daily Memphian's weekly dining podcast. It's a part of our free podcast series. Make sure you're not missing out on any old episodes of Sound Bites. I say old like it's a bad thing, but really any past episodes with Memphis chefs and food dignitaries, I'm going to say. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. It's the purple app. Or on Spotify. Plus you can hear the green one. Yeah, Spotify's green. Apple Podcasts, purple. We always have to have a sidebar about the apps. Plus you can hear the newest episodes of Sound Bites every week on WYXR Radio, Thursdays at 11. If you are listening on WYXR right now, up next you can tune into the Sidebar podcast with the Daily Memphian CEO, Eric Barnes. He's interviewing people from the arts and culture scene in Memphis and really getting into what's going on there. But let's get started with Sam. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You had to go to the DMV today.
I did.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It could have been worse.
How did it go?
I got there 15 minutes early, and there was like 40 people in front of me, and I was nervous, but I got out of there pretty quick.
Yeah. Relatively unscathed. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here. We met a couple years ago when I came up to the Swamp Bar when it opened. Let's say people don't know what Swamp Bar is. What would you, how would you answer that question?
I feel like Swamp Bar is a fun, eclectic cocktail, dinner, bar, soon-to-be lounge situation. It is bits and pieces of our team. New Orleans Creole from Kelly. Derek really likes the kind of like Asian Vietnamese fusion.
Yes.
So both of those things come together. And then just a fun experimental cocktail experience.
Experimental cocktail. That just makes me think about the Flash of Light cocktails. If you've ever, like from Parks and Recreation, the show. Yes, like Flash of Light. The reason I asked it that way, like, hey, I'm an alien from outer space, what is Swamp Bar? Is because there's this Facebook group called Things That Aren't in Memphis Anymore, and it's got like 100,000 people in it, and for some reason I'm a part of it. And they always post things that are for sure 100% still in Memphis, like still actively open and going on. It'll be like a picture of the slide area, and it'll be like, things that used to be here.
I think I saw the picture you were talking about.
Well, did you see me go in on the comments and like, there's definitely something still here. So the building that was pictured in this group is of the like original Restaurant Iris space, the house on Monroe in near Overton Square in Midtown. And people were like, it used to be La Tourelle. And I was like, that was 100 years ago. It's Swamp Bar now. And people are like, is there still something there? I'm like, yes, it's Swamp Bar now. So I was proselytizing in the group.
I appreciate it.
So thank you for that. You wear a lot of hats. Tell me about your role at Swamp Bar. And then we're going to talk about the plans for expansion. And then we're going to talk about you.
Yeah. So I am the bar manager. I manage kind of front of house operations. I also do the social media, menu design.
Wow.
All that kind of fun, creative stuff.
Yeah. That is an elevator speech. Okay. I'm skipping ahead to you. Where are you from? How did you get into bartending? What else do you do?
I'm from Somerville, Tennessee. I grew up out there. Both my parents are from Memphis. I played competitive basketball in Memphis since I was 9. And then in 2012, I moved to Memphis and played at Christian Brothers University. So I think my first restaurant job was my senior year of high school. And I always kind of laugh about it because I loved playing Cooking Mama. Or like there was like also Diner Dash on my little iPod.
Oh.
And those were like fun things. I liked the process, the organization, the structure of it. And so when I needed a summer job to pay for my senior trip, actually it was my junior year. It was before my senior year. There was a little local restaurant that was hiring. And they actually, I think it was called Izzy's. And they owned it was an Irish pub before it was Elbow. I'm trying to think of what it was called. This is going to drive me insane.
I'm going to find
any other moment, I could figure this out. But they owned this Irish pub in Memphis. So I worked there. And then when I moved to Memphis, that was my first bar job in Memphis. And
Dublin House.
Yes, that was it.
Oh, yes. I got it. Dublin House.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it was funny because my family, they aren't big drinkers. So I wasn't raised around alcohol. And then going there, it was definitely a bar. And
it was definitely a bar. I will tell you that. Dublin House. That was a place.
And I was just like a little cocktail server, and people would be like, a Tanqueray and tonic. And I would go back to the bar and be like, a Ray and tonic. Like I was trying to enunciate what I heard, but didn't know what the brands were. So it's funny to see how far I've come from there.
That's really relatable. I also grew up around folks in a community that really didn't drink. And so when I came to Memphis and started working in restaurants, I would also be like, it's a wine and it's red and I don't think it's supposed to be cold. Like it was just piecing it together. Okay, what happened after Dublin House, though? I also love that I completely blocked out all my memories of that place.
I kind of like playing college basketball. I couldn't have a job during the season, so it was just kind of like every summer. I kind of who I was rooming with at the time, where they were working. I was at Felicia Suzanne's for a little bit. And then after that, I went to the Vault when it switched from the Double J to the Vault.
Is this where you met Dirk?
It wasn't.
It wasn't? Okay, keep going.
So I was at the Vault for like 2 years. And then I was at Alchemy before COVID. And then after Alchemy, I started working at Paramount. And that's where I met Dirk. So I met Dirk at Paramount downtown. And so I worked there. And then after that ended, I went to, I believe that was Inkwell after that. Yeah, Inkwell.
Yeah, Inkwell in the Edge District. Yeah. This is that's an extensive resume, but that's a pretty common thing for people working in the service industry. You've got to go, like, especially if your availability is off and on. And that's the beauty of it. Like, you can meet a lot of different people and make a lot of different connections and learn a lot of different skills. Okay. So specifically, how did you get from the, like, what is a Tanqueray and tonic to now crafting what you call experimental cocktails, craft cocktails? Like, I don't know if we're past craft cocktails. I'm going to ask you about trends in a minute. But how did you go from that to this?
So growing up, my dad was like the cook in the family. Very, very talented. It's funny because he also made a lot of like kind of Creole Cajun food. In sidetrack, I lived in Korea for 2 years when I was really young. My parents were teaching English on the military base and like mission work.
Yeah. And
so from as long as I can remember, we've had rice, kimchi, like that type of stuff. It was
staples in your home.
Very spicy food, and just enjoying watching my dad create in a culinary sense, and kind of integrating that into my own life. And then as I started to kind of, like you're serving and then you realize there's more money behind the bar. And then, starting out, like when I was at the Vault, it was very much like vodka cran. And then when I went to Alchemy, it was just you started to kind of realize that there was like a creative process behind cocktail crafting.
Yes.
And so I worked with some really awesome people there, and they just kind of shaped my excitement and interest in the bar scene. So I learned a lot at Alchemy. That kind of, I would say, started my trajectory into more crafting of cocktails.
How is your process now when you're developing a cocktail? Do you start with like a taste profile, like you're pairing with some of that like Creole/Asian cuisine that you have at Swamp Bar? Or is it ingredient? Or is it just vibes?
I mean, I would say for anybody who knows me, it is very vibe oriented. But I do think like part of it is we like to, especially on our menus, have several like liquor options. So, like we try to do maybe like a signature cocktail with each spirit. So it kind of starts with like the nuances of said spirit. And then from there, playing with some flavors that maybe aren't as utilized. I like one that's one of my favorite that is on our new menu that we just dropped this past weekend is Orenishi's Revenge. And it is, and I love spicy margaritas. That's like kind of one of my favorites. But it is a wasabi, salted cucumber, lemongrass syrup, lemon, tequila. So it's kind of like a salty, we got a spicy margarita, but it just pairs really well with all like the Asian kind of flavors of what we have on our menu. But, like kind of being like, in a creative state and thinking, okay, this is a flavor that I don't see used a lot. How can I make this palatable? How can I make this, something unique, special that people would enjoy?
What are some of your other favorites? I was getting thirsty while you were describing that one. That one's really good. I've had several of your drinks and they're really amazing. I mean, there's all different levels of craft cocktail that you can get into. And sometimes you do just want a vodka grand.
Yeah.
But what are some of your other favorites that you serve?
So on our new menu, so I recently did the Bar Limina residency. So I had 2 on that menu that are on our new menu. But one is Brown Silk Dress, which is one that when we first opened, there was a lot of creative, like just experimentation all over the place on my part, and I originally wanted to make an old fashioned with this. But anyway, it is a toasted miso coconut brown butter fat wash Sazerac. So it's basically a black Manhattan, but it has a Morrow and then like this brown butter, very like kind of like umami savory Sazerac, and then coffee bitters. So it's like a fun little version of that.
How dare you?
But it's funny.
This sounds amazing.
It has no like syrup in it, but like something about like the salt with like the Amaro just kind of gives it almost like a salted caramel kind of taste. And then the other one is Kissing Under the Love Lantern, which is basically our version of like a hibiscus bee's knees. But we did hibiscus infused gin, and then lemon, and then honey. Gin, lemon, honey is a traditional bee's knees. But then we did a honey orange oleo syrup. So it's kind of got like citrus, honey, hibiscus, a little cinnamon, sugar rim, like half rim. So it's all the flavors play together really well. So
tell me a little bit more about Swamp Bar, because you guys have a great happy hour. And I feel like those drinks are maybe different than these drinks you're describing. Or what's the happy hour situation? What is it like in a shift? That's what I'm really imagining. Like, you probably have the people that come early, they want to get the discount, they're having a great time, but you go on late into the night, which is like more and more rare in Memphis. So like, okay, my real question, walk me through a shift.
Okay. So we happy hour, which I think like our Joe is my bar manager partner, and we both kind of take pride in the fact that it is pre-COVID happy hour. Like, like now it's kind of hard to find something that you're like, is this really a happy hour? But so we are.
Yeah, you're still paying
$9-10 for a basic drink. But so we do happy hour 5 to 8 Wednesday through Saturday, and then all day on Sunday for industry night. But we have people lining up at the door. We always kind of laugh about it because it's like 4:59. We're like, we're not unlocking that door until 5.
You need 60 more seconds.
But so it is $4 highballs, which is just liquor and soda or juice or something like that. It's $3 High Life, $4 Modelo, $5 Wiseacre Ananda cans, and then our most popular is the margaritas for $5. You can get it regular, spicy. We use fresh lime juice, Altos tequila, and I think people are just like, you aren't often getting a $5 margarita that's not made with like a shelf-stable sweet and sour mix type situation.
It's going to give you an immediate headache.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is, I think that's kind of what sets us apart. We sell a lot of margaritas.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Do you batch those? Good.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank God. Thank God
we
for you.
did it first, and we learned it quickly that we should.
You should. Okay. Then after happy hour, what happens?
After happy hour, honestly, a lot of people still kind of stick around, but like with Swamp Bar as it is now, it's more kind of like, we used to have the TV in the bar area, and we can talk about that in a little bit, but originally the concept, the idea of it was a place where you have conversation, you're just like mingling with like the people around you and just kind of like a community like experience. So a lot of people meet friends, bring friends, meet people beside them at the bar. And honestly, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday are very chill. Friday, from the moment we unlock the door until the end of the night, it's pretty packed.
Pretty active. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. People are having a good time. Yeah.
But it's fun because we really we try to have a focus on like the classics, and obviously like everybody has their own way of doing the classics, but we have an extensive like classic cocktail menu where all of our bartenders know how to make them. So it's kind of like, yeah, you can get one of our signatures or like our staples, which are ones from like our past however many menus since we opened that are favorites that we bring back for like the season. But then we also have, I mean, you can get a solid old fashioned, just like anything that it's going to meet, I guess, your expectation of what you would expect when you order that classic drink.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I think in the last, what is it now? I don't know, 15 years since like craft cocktail is kind of the standard. You do have to kind of raise the bar a little bit, even if it's not your main menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. So tell me what's happening with Swamp Bar. There's been some shifts around in like the restaurants associated with Kelly English. He has been on Soundbites like several weeks ago and talked about, and he spoke so highly of you and of director of operations, whatever his title is, Dirk Metzler, about how you guys have really taken the Swamp Bar concept and run with it. And that's what he said he's kind of doing now. So Second Line, the restaurant, is going to move over to East Memphis to the Laurelwood Shopping Center and be right next to Restaurant Iris. And where Swamp Bar is now, which was the original Restaurant Iris, is going to expand, evolve something into the Second Line space.
Yes.
I feel like I need to like have a whiteboard and draw like X's and O's.
Yes.
But what can you tell me about that? Like he couldn't really share a lot of details at the time. What can you share now?
So honestly, it's really an exciting project and expansion in general. We have, when we first opened, and I keep going back to that, but we had the idea of kind of being like a little more kind of like laid back, vibey spot, and it took off, and we're very grateful for that. But I also think it was like we need more space. Yeah. So it kind of just fell into our lap to have the opportunity to be like, let's kind of like expand on what we have now. And yeah, so Swamp Bar as it is now was beautifully designed by David Quarles.
Yes.
And when they came to us about the idea of moving into the Second Line, I got the opportunity to kind of be like a creative director for the transition and kind of try to like mirror the energy, the vibe of what is there now. But basically we are going to be the Swamp Bar, like kind of like dinner and cocktail bar, and then Swamp Lounge at the Swamp. But it's going to have more like TVs, a little more casual food menu. Eventually in the spring, we will be doing a new brunch menu. But in the meantime, we wanted a space where we had the Wednesday night DJ nights, during summer and fall, and they were really popular, and we wanted to continue doing
people
that.
People all over the patios, everywhere.
It was fun, but we wanted to be able to like during the cold time until we're able to kind of meander into the back patio bar, have a place where we can host some events inside. So
super smart. Yeah.
So it's going to be a cool experience. I'm excited for it to open in the very soon future.
Yes, in the very soon future. I mean, I think I talked about this with Kelly, but the back patio bar at Second Line was such a fun place.
See and be seen.
See and be seen. Like, everybody was out there. And I love the way that Swamp Bar is now kind of bringing that back in this, like, I don't know, whatever we're going to call this era of time in Memphis. I want to say, like, post-pandemic, but, like, 2026 in Memphis.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really positive force during this time in Memphis. Okay. But you have also experience and background extensively in visual arts. And I think that's kind of what you're alluding to when you're talking about being the creative director. Tell me about your training there, what you do when you're not making drinks.
So my degree is in visual art with a concentration in graphic design, but I really, after I graduated, I kind of had this like moment where I was kind of questioning, like, if money didn't matter, if nothing else mattered, like what would make me feel fulfilled? And I'd always really enjoyed painting and kind of like more of like the fine art direction. And so I still do graphic design, but it's more so just for like kind of fun niche projects. But yeah, so I do art, murals, and some photography in Memphis, but I'm a part of the Ugly Art Collective over in the Edge District. It's like it's a really fun group of people to be a part of. I feel like especially in the South, there is maybe, I don't want to say lack of appreciation because I feel like that's a strong direction, but I think a lot of people kind of have like an idea of, you know, like this is what art is. And it's fun to be a part of a group of like contemporary, kind of like quirky, odd art that everybody's very much appreciated and on the same wavelength. But yeah, I recently just put up some pieces in like the Renaissance Center downtown. That was kind of like the most recent thing I've done.
Yeah, the convention center.
Yes.
That's
and
awesome.
then we have a group show coming up. So I have some new work in the mix. But really since January 2nd, I've been participating in the revamp of the Second Line to Swamp Bar direction.
So are you out here with the paintbrush?
Yes.
Are you telling people what to do with the paintbrush or both?
Both.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. That's amazing. Ugly Art Co. in the Edge District. So you have this connection to the Edge District as well, having worked at Inkwell, which is now Bar Limina, and then you had the residency there. And it's been kind of fun because we've had several people, several mixologists, bartenders, whatever you guys want to be called these days. All the names are fine. But we've had several of those folks on Sound Bites. How did that go at Bar Limina?
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was a unique opportunity to be back in a place where I have worked before. Also a different vibe, atmosphere from where I am currently working now. And it was just a really cool opportunity to be a part of something local. But yeah, it was fun to do that. It was fun to like visit with regulars, with people I haven't seen in a while, and also talk about the next steps of Swamp.
Okay, I want to ask you, because I'm so interested in this always, what cocktail trends are you seeing now that you like? And which ones do you wish would move on? Retire?
I really... And it
doesn't mean you don't want to make the drinks. It's just like, I want your personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ones that I would love to move on, even though I personally really enjoy them, I just wish we could all make them at home, would be an espresso martini.
I knew you were going to say that.
I make so many espresso martinis. I'm just like, I cannot believe you're drinking 4 of those back to back.
Ooh.
It's too much.
That's too many. Yeah.
We're seeing sounds now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What color is this that I'm hearing right now?
But yeah, I they're great. But sometimes I'm just like, let's try something different.
Yeah.
Let's venture.
Expand your horizons.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then cocktail trends, I It's something that I personally have not gotten into as much. That I'm very much interested in is more so just kind of creative, like foams and stuff like that to like
the textures
to like top a cocktail to bring an extra nuance to the cocktail. That's kind of something that I'm trying to start integrating into my practice.
Egg whites. Yeah. Okay, but I know what we just said about espresso martinis, but I am curious about this. What is your recipe?
So I use dark rum instead of vodka because vodka just doesn't really taste like anything. So I like to use dark rum. My personal, so on our original menu, it's called the Napoleon Complex, but it's an ube espresso martini. But if you use vanilla, you can add any type of syrup to kind of alter the flavor, but the ube syrup's really fun. But the dark rum, I just feel like kind of brings like a little more flavor, a little more like experience to the drink.
Like a depth. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then, so the ounce and a half of the rum, half ounce of coffee liqueur, preferably coffee black. But if you have, if it's rum-based, Kahlua also works well because it's a rum-based coffee liqueur. And then espresso and a syrup.
So real espresso, not a creamy one. Not
no,
really.
I don't. My preference is no cream. But I feel like if you make it right, you don't really need Bailey's or cream or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then we usually strain it off and then dry shake it. So there's like a nice thick level of foam on top.
Nice.
So nobody wants just looks like black coffee in a coupe glass.
I don't want to I don't want to have to put chapstick on after I take a sip. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. Your favorite cocktails at a bar that's not your own. And do you like to make drinks at home? And if so, what? So you're out, go to, and you're in, go to.
I would say, and I'm going to say it again, I love a spicy margarita, specifically with mezcal or just, I like a spicy mezcal margarita. I also like a Naked and Famous, and occasionally a filthy gin martini with blue cheese olives, depending on what I'm having with dinner. But yeah.
Yeah. I like to begin a meal with a filthy, dirty martini.
Yeah, it's like an appetizer.
It is. It is. Do you have a gin that you like, or just whatever's working?
I mean, whatever's working. I usually do Tanqueray, but I think also for me, it's kind of a seasonal thing. I typically, in the winter, I would be more likely to do something like bourbon or rye based, and but in the spring, summer, which are my favorite cocktail seasons, you kind of go a little more brighter. Yeah. And then at home, I really don't make a lot of cocktails at home.
Understandable.
If I do, it's more so I'm experimenting for a menu. And then, or if we have friends over or something, we'll do 9 times out of 10, I'm making a margarita variation. So yeah,
it's a sweet spot. It's good. It's so good with fresh citrus.
Yes.
So there's a lot of other trends that we talk about sometimes on Soundbites: low ABV, no ABV, also all these kind of THC drinks and stuff. What's your take on that? Have you experimented in those realms?
Yeah, I would say we have a decent non-alcoholic menu. We used to have a low ABV menu, but it really wasn't. People didn't really utilize it the way that, to the point where it was kind of difficult to maintain fresh ingredients because it wasn't really being used. But we always tell people, if you are interested in a low ABV drink, we can absolutely make it. I'll say, being at Bar Lemona, I really appreciate how Jenna crafts her non-alcoholic drinks. We have, honestly, it's a de-alcoholized brut champagne that we do several. We have a non-alcoholic Aperol spritz, a non-alcoholic Hugo spritz. So a few fun things like that. A few. We have a mule variation, and then just a refresher type drink that gives you the experience of kind of having a cocktail, but it's not, I wouldn't say super complicated, but
it's this option is becoming more integrated into your regular menu, as opposed to being big deal. Like
Yeah.
we have like, cannons and balloons. Like here's our non-alcoholic menu. It's like, oh, you can just expect now to go to a bar if they have craft cocktails and you can order.
Well, part of
you
the
can
thing
order that
with also I think I understand from like a consumer standpoint that it's frustrating when non-alcoholic cocktails can be up there in price with regular cocktails. So that's kind of where like the Mule and the Refresher comes from, whereas they're not as complicated. They are cost effective. But with even like our de-alkalized champagne is more significantly more expensive than our house champagne. So it's like you kind of have to charge a certain amount to be able to offer certain things. So
there's business considerations. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Have you ever had a Select spritz with the Select liqueur? It's like red.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to look for it.
It's pretty good. It's like it's different than Aperol spritz, and I don't really know how to describe it because it's just one of these like super botanical things. Mm-hmm. But I had it recently for the first time, and now I'm addicted. But was it
less bitter than Aperol?
I think it's like rounder and sweeter.
It makes me wonder if it's Cappelletti, because I'm trying to figure out, because that's like one of the other main red.
It's not Cappelletti, but I mean, it's called Select.
Oh, it's actually.
Like, here, I'm showing her a picture of it. It's called Select, and they make like a Venetian spritz.
Oh,
anyways, it's usually served with an olive, which is kind of interesting.
I've seen it's
not very common.
My brother, he went to Italy recently, and he was sending pictures of his Aperol spritz, and I was like, an olive, is it unique? But I guess that's, but here I feel like if you threw an olive in something, people are like, where did that come from?
Where? Yeah. This would probably also be good with like an orange or something. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is it going to look and feel like when we go into the Swamp Lounge? Can we call it that?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Swamp Lounge.
Swamp Lounge.
Yes. So Swamp Lounge is going to be, again, mirroring kind of what Swamp Bar is, but more like TVs, kind of like being able to watch local sports, a little more like kind of DJ events, or just in general, just having local performers be able to have a space to do that, where it's not so confined as it is over on the other side. There's obviously a much larger patio. And then with the Swamp Bar, up until this point, we've been first come, first serve. And so we will be able to, with having two spaces, we'll be able to allow an area for like reservation situations as well.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, because people ask about it all the time, and it's just hard when you only seat 60 people to be like, we're already pretty busy. It's hard to be like, okay, now we have to tell everybody no. But now we have like a separate, like, go over there.
You can do it all.
Yes.
You can have it all. Okay, the last question I wanted to ask was your favorite thing to eat food-wise. Mm-hmm. We've talked a lot about drinks, which has been really fun, but I do want to know your favorite thing to eat on the Swamp Bar menu, and then a top pick for where you go eat at a different restaurant.
Yeah. I would say with Swamp Bar, it's a toss-up between three things. It depends on my mood.
Okay.
I love the Swamp Burger, but I'm a burger girl. So, but it is just it's really good. I also like the curry shrimp and grits. Mm-hmm. It's unlike any shrimp and grits I've had, with the curry sauce, and then it's served with spicy greens, which I think is a unique, fun little experience. And then the Korean braised short rib with the wasabi mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a short rib.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a weakness.
It is really, really yummy.
Yeah. They've got some tasty food up there. And then when you go somewhere else, where do you like to go?
I do like to try new food, but I'm also a creature of habit, and definitely Quick Check is up there. Mm-hmm. I love the kimchi burrito, the spicy beef shish kebab, the mandu, the bibimbap burger. All of those are great. I like Petals of Peony. That's one of my probably once or maybe 3 times a week spots. And if you're late night food, if you're getting off work and nothing's open, Bar Dog or Louis Connolly's have great late night food. And then being downtown, I don't do fine dining often, but Amelia Jean's, my husband and I have gone for my birthday and our anniversary for like the past couple years, and it is worth every penny.
Yeah.
It is incredible. So I've never had a bad experience.
That's
there.
on my short list. I still haven't been. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
What do I have to get?
The oysters, the au gratin, and the ribeye.
The ribeye.
Yes.
Okay.
It's really good.
You have a very wistful look in your eyes right now. So you're living downtown, working in Midtown. I love getting the Midtown, downtown recommendations. Sam Reeves Hill, bar manager at Swamp Bar and now Swamp Lounge, visual artist in Memphis. Thank you so much for being here with us today. That's pretty much all the time we have. Although I feel like we could probably keep talking about cocktail ingredients for a long time. Maybe we'll have to have you back once everything gets open over there. You can listen to Soundbites podcast with me, Holly Whitfield, on WYXR Radio Thursdays at 11. You can also listen whenever you want, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or listen at dailymemphian.com. Thank you again, Sam. It's been so fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cheers. Goodbye.
Yes.